Death Stranding is an action game developed by Kojima Productions and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. It was originally released on November 8, 2019 for the PlayStation 4, later arriving on PC and PS5 through a Director's Cut edition. Directed by the legendary Hideo Kojima, the game blends open-world exploration with an intriguing sci-fi narrative that defies typical genre conventions. By the way, I have a full Let's Play series for Death Stranding right here on my YouTube channel. If you want to experience the journey from beginning to end with commentary, check out the playlist. I'll leave the links in the description and at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around. At its core, Death Stranding is a unique blend of exploration, delivery simulation, light combat, and survival. Set in a post-apocalyptic version of the United States, you play as Sam Porter Bridges, a delivery man tasked with reconnecting isolated cities and individuals. You'll traverse treacherous terrain, evade mysterious ghostly entities, and occasionally engage in stealth and combat scenarios. But this isn't your typical action game. It leans more into strategic traversal and emotional storytelling than non-stop action. The focus is on connection, literally and thematically. What drew me to the game initially was the overwhelming praise it received from players and critics. Hideo Kojima has this weird but amazing way of making fictional games stand out from the crowd. He's known for embracing bizarre, pop culture inspired ideas and molding them into unforgettable experiences. Kojima's signature storytelling style, reminiscent of Metal Gear Solid, mixed with an all-star cast, including Roman Reedus and Mads Mikkelsen, made this a game I had to try. Plus, the announcement of the sequel added to the hype. I watched that trailer and thought, yeah, I can't miss out on this world. FOMO got me, and honestly, I'm glad it did, because what I experienced was something truly original. I've got a lot to say about it and I can't wait to dive into this review. The basic gameplay mechanics including walking, running, crouching, and even sliding depending on your movement and terrain. In combat situations, you'll use a variety of weapons with mechanics like shooting, aiming, and reloading. One minor gripe is the weapon switching. It's a bit slow, but it serves a purpose. It slows down time in combat, giving you a moment to react more tactically. Stealth is also a part of the mix. You can take enemies down silently, but what truly stands out are the unique mechanics. For example, Sam uses a device called a Cupid to scan the environment within a 500 meters radius. This scan color codes the terrain. Red means hard to traverse, blue and yellow indicate more navigatable paths. It also highlights loot and objectives, making exploration and planning a crucial part of your journey. The heart of the gameplay lies in delivering cargo across treacherous and often inaccessible terrain. Whether it's hiking up mountains or crossing rivers, the traversal mechanics are deeply strategic. You're provided with tools like ladders, climbing ropes, and even buildable bridges to assist with difficult passages. Without these tools, the gameplay might have felt tedious, but instead it becomes an engaging puzzle of pathfinding and planning. The controls are smooth and responsive. I didn't notice any junky bugs or awkward glitches. Difficulty-wise, it sits in the normal range, with some challenging moments, but nothing overwhelming. The Cupid scanning tool is definitely one of the game's standout mechanics. It gives you a clear idea of the terrain, helps with looting, and adds a layer of strategy to your movement. Another unique feature is the BTs, ghost-like enemies that can appear invisible at first and must be avoided quietly. When you get close, you need to hold your breath to avoid alerting them. If you make noise or get spotted, they'll pull you into a tower-like realm and try to kill you. These encounters add a terrifying twist to exploration. Death Stranding tells the story of Sam Porter Bridges, a man burdened with both physical and emotional weight, who's tasked with reconnecting a fractured society. The world is haunted by BTs, supernatural entities linked to the mysterious event known as the Death Stranding. Along the way, Sam meets a variety of characters, each with their own motives and backstories, all of whom shape the journey and expand the narrative's depths. Without diving into spoilers, the story follows Sam as he delivers vital cargo to scattered settlements in an effort to reconnect what's left of America. Each delivery brings him closer to understanding the truth behind the Death Stranding, the BTs and existential mysteries haunting the world. It's a story that tackles themes of isolation, connection, life and death, all with Kojima's signature cinematic flair. Sam starts off as a lone wanderer, emotionally closed off and reluctant to help others, but through the relationship he builds and the truth he uncovers, he evolves into a symbol of unity and hope. The supporting cast, from Fragile to Deadman to Cleve, each have their own arcs, making the narrative feel layered and alive. This game was entertaining and fun to play, but more than that, it was intriguing. It constantly left me with questions. The confusing nature of the plot only fueled my desire to dig deeper and find out more. Yes, some missions felt repetitive, especially the cargo delivery ones, but I was constantly pulled back in by the mystery of the world. I wanted to know what happened to the world, what are BTs really, why is Sam special, how does he survive in this insane broken world? You do get some answers, but not all, and that's what kept me playing. I even found myself researching the lore after finishing the game. The level of post-game curiosity, that's rare, and I love that. The visuals in Death Stranding are simply breathtaking. The natural landscapes feel almost photorealistic. Trees sway with the wind, rocks have that tough texture that actually looks rocky, and the characters' facial expressions are incredibly lifelike. It's all done with an impressive level of detail and care. What really sells the immersion is how the visuals sync up with the game's physics. Whether you're climbing, sleeping, or placing a ladder, the animations feel fluid and grounded. Every action looks and sounds exactly how it should, which brings us to the audio. Sound design in Death Stranding is top tier. Every footstep changes depending on terrain, every creak of your backpack, every gust of wind, it's all meticulously crafted. And then there's the music, soft, ambient, and deeply therapeutic. It kicks in during those long treks, creating a meditative atmosphere that's hard to describe. It made me feel calm and connected to the world, even while I was drudging across treacherous mountains. The game graphics are not just high quality, they're stylistically consistent with its somber, sci-fi setting. Characters are incredibly detailed, both in their facial and body structures. Environments, whether natural landscapes or decayed urban ruins, look rich and believable. There's a consistent greyish tone throughout the world, giving the whole game a melancholy, almost post-human vibe. But it's never so grey that you can't distinguish key elements. It strikes a balance between this saturation and clarity, which I found very effective. And when you scan the environment with a Cupid, it adds a layer of futuristic visual flair, kind of this cyberpunky overlay that highlights elevation and danger zones. It's subtle but very well implemented. The sound design is one of the most immersive aspects of Death Stranding. The environment audio, wind blowing, rain falling, rocks crunching under your boots makes every moment feel grounded in the world. The music, composed by Ludwig Forsell and featuring tracks by Low Roar and other artists, adds an emotional resonance to the game. It often fades in as you walk through vast, open spaces, creating a peaceful and contemplative vibe, and when the moment calls for tension, the music shifts accordingly, raising stakes during boss fights or stealth segments. Voice acting deserves a special mention. Every character is performed with care. Norman Reedus as Sam delivers a grounded, human performance, while Mads Mikkelsen and Lea Seydoux bring real emotional depth to their characters. From my experience, the performance was solid throughout. Kojima's production clearly put in the work to ensure the game runs smoothly. I didn't experience any crashes or major bugs, and load times were minimal, especially on the PS5. Everything felt well optimized. Frame rates were stable, even during busy scenes or detailed environments. It's clear the team prioritized stability just as much as storytelling and gameplay. The UI in Death Stranding can be a bit overwhelming at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually well organized. You can easily access everything from mission details to system settings, cargo management, and mail. Yes, you get the mail in this game. Map navigation is built right into the menu and helps a lot when plotting routes across dangerous terrain. I didn't notice too many accessibility features, at least not in the traditional sense, but most of what you need is clearly displayed and easy to find once you're familiar with the layout. It just takes a little getting used to. In terms of replayability, Death Stranding does offer a decent amount. There are numerous side missions, optional deliveries, and hidden collectibles for completionists. The world itself encourages exploration, and you can revisit areas with better equipment to make previous routes more efficient. The director's cut also added more content, like new missions, weapons, and a racetrack, giving players even more to do post-main story. Death Stranding is fairly priced, especially considering the amount of content you're getting. The standard Day 1 edition for PS4 cost around $20, while the director's cut on PS5 is about $50. That version includes upgraded visuals, extra missions, and gameplay enhancements, and it feels worth the price. Whether you're diving in for the first time or replaying with enhancements, you're getting your money's worth in terms of both experience and polish. Some of the pros I can mention are deep, emotionally resonant story, unique gameplay mechanics and traversal systems, beautiful visuals and top-notch sound design, strong performance and optimization, and memorable characters and excellent voice acting. For the cons, I found some delivery missions that can feel very repetitive, UI takes some time to get used to, and the story can be confusing or vague at times, though that's part of its charm though. But overall, I absolutely love the weird storyline and inventive mechanics. It's not your everyday action game, and that's exactly what makes it so memorable. Death Stranding is one of those games that sticks with you long after the credit rolls. I was deeply impressed by the lore. Hideo Kojima has built an entire world that's both strange and grounded, emotional and sci-fi heavy. The world building is phenomenal, and its story, even though it's mysterious and sometimes difficult to decode, left me wanting more. The emotional impact comes from how personal the journey feels. You're not just saving the world, you're connecting it piece by piece, step by step. Few games leave me with the urge to research lore after playing, and this one had me deep in forums and wikis just to understand all the layers. That says a lot about how deeply it pulled me in. One of the most memorable moments for me was my first real encounter with the BTs. The tension of sneaking past them, holding my breath, and seeing their ghostly outlines floating through the terrain, it was terrifying, but also beautiful in a haunting way. And honestly, some of those long, quiet walks with the music softly playing, just me, the landscape and the sound of the wind, those moments were just as powerful. It made solitude feel meaningful. To wrap it up, Death Stranding is one of a kind experience. If you're into traditional action games with straightforward objectives, this might feel like a curveball. But if you're someone who enjoys narrative depth, emotional world building, and sci-fi storytelling with a unique edge, these games might surprise you in the best way. Yes, it's strange. Yes, it's sometimes confusing, but that's what makes it great. Every step you take in Death Stranding adds weight, not just in cargo, but in meaning. Would I recommend it? Absolutely. If anything I've said resonated with you, you should definitely give it a try. My final rating, an 8.5 out of 10. If you enjoyed this review video, don't forget to hit that like button. Let me know what you think about the game or what you're looking forward to if you're planning to play at the comments. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like to watch more gaming content and feature reviews, this also helps out the channel a whole lot. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.